Welcome back to the garage. It's February 2025. We're continuing our preparations for this season's MG Car Club Speed Championship. And in this episode, a little bit of a treat to myself. I've gone out and bought some of these fellas. So we're going to fit these to the Armstrong front dampers. Now, if you've gone and looked, you'll know that the genuine adjustable Armstrong dampers sells for a small fortune. You can easily be talking £300–400 for a pair of dampers. Whereas on a recent trip to the race restoration show, I came across these little adjustable valves designed to be an add-on, and these retail at about £80 each. So that makes £160 for the pair. A fair amount, but still cheaper than buying genuine adjustable ones, but you get this nice brand new valve. And I guess, yes, it's a bit pricey, but you can see where the money goes by the time you've machined that main body there, all the valves, springs, you've got to assemble it, then you can see where the money goes. So £80, I think that's probably about right. And what that does mean, of course, is that kind of money, you're probably not going to get everybody having those in the pits, therefore a potential source of competitive advantage. So why do you need them then, I hear you say? Well, on a Midget, the front damping is done by these Armstrong dampers, and yes, you can buy uprated versions which have got a harder spring and some shims in order to give a hard damping. But having the ability to adjust that damping means potentially you can stiffen the front up to your desired preference. And on a Midget, if you want to go fast, you need the front as stiff as you can get it to go around corners, and you need the back as soft as you can get it to keep that axle on the ground. So how do you swap them? Well, according to the instructions, you simply take out the valve, flush out all the old oil, put in the new valve, fill back up with 20 weight motor-style fork oil, then bleed. And setting the preferred damping is done by this adjustable hex nut on the top. The helpful guy at the show said, well, you can either turn them to the same amount of turns each, so you know they're both set exactly the same, but of course you can also use that calibrated arm to make sure that they're about the same. I think the reality is, if there was any variance in the amount of damping, my driving is probably not good enough to pick it up anyway. So these are my two dampers off the front. Let's get those in a vise and see what they're doing. Okay, so that's really interesting. I haven't had these off the car for probably 2 years, 2.5 years now. And this one has got a fairly consistent stiffness both back and forth. This one has got very little damping on the upstroke and is incredibly hard to pull down on the downstroke, meaning that I'm likely then to have had a lot less damping, if none at all, on that, and had fairly hard damping on that. So changing these valves can't make this setup any worse. So I'm going to start with the one that had no damping or very little damping at all. Let's pull that valve out, get rid of the oil, see what difference this valve makes. So there you can see the adjustable valve and the stiffened valve side by side. So in theory it should just be a straight replacement. So we're going to get all the old oil out now. Right, so that's all the old oil out. Taking this cap out here as well. Instructions say you can wash it out with white spirit or paraffin. I happen to have some white spirit around. So next up we'll wash this out. And just for good measure, I think I'm going to blow an airline through it as well, just to get out any residual liquid. And there's a top tip, blowing the airline through this little valve at the top. Pushed out quite a lot of oil from the galleries and the areas well worth doing. So to fill this back up then, we're going to top this up with oil. We'll screw the new valve into place and then top up the oil through this gallery here, and that should mean we're all ready to go. The valve screwed in then, that went in fairly straightforward, no problems. What we're going to do is mount it up in the vise and then slowly fill it up from the top. So a slight change of plan while filling. What I've done here is taken the screws off so we can get inside. And there we go, there we've got the aperture, so that's going to make it a whole lot easier to fill up. So we're going to fill it up this way, put the cap back on, and then we should be good to go. So here then you can see the impact of the screw. So this is fully open now. You can see if I apply a constant force, you can see what's happening here. So as I go up, I'll carry on doing that. So that's one click, 2 clicks, 3, I'm going to stiffen out, 4 flats, 5, 6, 7, I can hardly move this now, 8 flats, no, can't move it, 9, 10, 11, I'm about the end of the adjustment there, and that's lock solid. So if I back it all off again, back to the beginning, that's fully open. That's a bit like a standard damper. So what I'm going to do is try marking this with a little bit of white paint so I know how many turns I've done, and then we'll set them up. So I've set this up now to 1 full turn on the screw plus 2 flats, and that's given me this amount of damping. I appreciate you're relying on my calibrated arm here, but that to me is about the stiffness of a good solid uprated damper. That'll certainly keep the front end nice and tight. Right, so I can top up the last bit of oil, put the cap back on, fill up the reservoir to the bleed hole, and then that's one done. So that didn't take long, quite impressed with that. So we'll get the other one done and then we can do a back-to-back comparison. We've got our 2 valves fitted now. And I've set them both up in a vise side by side. Initial testing showed that even with the same number of flats on both sides, they didn't feel the same, they felt slightly different. So what I'm going to do is default to the calibrated arm method, and with them both in the vise like this, use the same arm to push on both, and then make an adjustment on the valve one by one in order to get them as best balanced I can. So here goes. So this is the one I set up first. Okay, that's taking quite a bit of force. Now move over to this one. No, I can definitely move that one easier. So I'm going to move this round one flat. So clockwise to tighten it up here. So it's gone one. So now we'll try again. So it's dampening, compression. Go to this one, dampening. Oh, it's still a little bit loose. I'll tighten it up another flat. So dampening. That's not far off. Do one more flat on that side. I think that's about done it. So there then, job done. In the end, when I back turned and checked, the second valve was actually set with the calibrated arm at exactly the same number of flats, a complete turn to plus 2 flats, the same as the other one. So there you go. Maybe setting them exactly the same does work. There we go then. Finished Armstrong dampers ready to go back on the car with adjustable valves. So we'll give that a field test, and if we need to make any adjustments, we can do that in the field now, one flat at a time on both, and we should get a fairly balanced set of dampers. So definitely an upgrade, definitely needed doing. I didn't realise how out of sync the two dampers had come over the years, so one that's definitely recommended, I think. Time to get these back on the car then, and then on to the next job. Never ends, does it? Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. See you next time.